so they're telling us that carbon dioxide does this. What happens is carbon dioxide goes up. They said can be in the atmosphere for hundreds of years. It's normally absorbed by plants immediately, who they've got studies. They have found giant crocodile skeletons from just 10,000 years ago in the central Sahara, when hundreds of square miles is nothing but dunes. 10,000 years ago, it was lush jungles and beautiful, but they had goats, and they ate all of the plants and killed the roots.
There's also the Younger Dryas theory of asteroid impacts that they think ended the Ice Age.
12,000 years ago.
Yeah, 2 impacts. I believe there's 12, and then somewhere between.
But the answer is
12.
we don't know. And so they've now looked at all these big models saying that it's all carbon dioxide, and it's not. It's the sun, it's asteroids, it's tectonic, it's electromagnetic from the Earth's core.
I understand all this, but isn't CO2 emissions the one thing that we can control? So human-created global warming gases like CO2 emissions, if we can put a cap on that, wouldn't you agree?
Let me ask you a question.
If we continue to put that stuff in the atmosphere and it continues to get higher and higher and higher levels of CO2 in the atmosphere, wouldn't
this is going to make the studies show it's going to make deserts become green again, and plants are going to absorb the carbon.
What studies are these?
You can look them up.
Okay, let's find out.
And that's why the left even says...
But if you're going to say something like that, and I'm not arguing with you, but if you are going to say something like that, that's a very bold thing to say. You should probably not just say look them up. There should be something.
No, let's type it in. Let's type it in. There's hundreds of them. I actually brought over 50 articles right here.
Do you have something that you've read that makes you so confident that you can say this?
I actually know what the plant studies show, where in greenhouses they grow plants with higher carbon dioxide, and plants can grow up to 3 times faster. They live longer.
Of course, plants live
let's expand.
off carbon dioxide.
And what do they put out more? Oxygen.
Well, this one thing that has been proven is that there's more plants now than there have been in a long fucking time.
There's a global greening happening,
yes,
countering us losing our atmosphere up until this point. The Earth has less atmosphere than it did 1 million years ago, and it's like God did this or something, where we discovered all this oil, or it's just blind luck that we are terraforming the planet back to an earlier, healthier state by taking ancient carbon that was under the ground and putting it back into the atmosphere.
But isn't the problem that along the way we're also increasing the temperature of the planet, and we are not aligned with a higher temperature?
Here's the truth. We don't know. We don't know. But in 1963, the Club of Rome came up with a limits to growth plan. And they had models and actuaries, and I have copies of this in my film Endgame. Seminal film, it's free online. Endgame Blueprint for Global Enslavement predicts a virus release to lock things down. Everything's now happening because it's in their own documents. And in the 1963 Limits to Growth Club of Rome plan, they said, we believe there'll be a global ice age by 2020 because the last ice age ended about 12,000 years ago, and we're set for that. We're going to tell the public that actually carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is bouncing solar radiation off the Earth because we've seen volcanoes cause this darkening effect and freezing. So we believe, our scientists believe, that carbon dioxide is going to make the Earth freeze by 2020. And so we've got to have a global regime to take control of all the factories and all the energy and put a tax in for global government in the name of stopping the ice age. Then by about 1987, they went, actually, we think it's going to heat up instead. So they flipped the propaganda. Ask anybody you know.
Okay, but don't you understand that science back then didn't have as much data as they have now? So their models and what they had predicted in 1963 is faulty compared to the information they have in 2020.
Yeah, just like Fauci said, 2.5 million would be dead
but again,
from COVID. It was 200-some-thousand.
But worldwide, what is it?
Worldwide, tuberculosis killed 20 million people, 1.4 million here last year, but nobody cares.
Kill?
Yeah.
Well, COVID killed a lot of people.
COVID's not even killed 1 million worldwide.
What?
Not even 1 million worldwide.
No, is that true?
Yep.
Come on.
Yep.
Well, how do we know?
Oh, we use UN models. Again, they're our boss. Since when did the WHO say the lockdown has to go on? Now they go, oh, we're against the lockdown. Your nation states that it's their fault because they know millions are starving to death from the lockdown.
That is true and very underreported. Yeah. That the WHO has now come out against lockdown, saying that the reaction can't be a worse effect than the actual disease itself.
So let me back Alex up with the climate change. It's like there's certainly, we're contributing to man-made global warming, but also, what are you going to do? What are we going to do?
I don't know. What's going on?
I mean, that's the other question. It's like, what are we going to do?
Why does his mic sound weird? Is it he's hot? Is he on it, or is it how I'm hearing it? I'm hearing like a breakup of his mic.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds fine to me. Yeah,
that's weird. Okay, I'm sorry. It must be me.
Jamie's really low. You sound great. He sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the climate control? Because that's very interesting. Like the idea of using climate to because, as you said with COVID, and we talked about this, we give up a lot of rights, right, in the name of coronavirus.
Exactly. Look, there's real issues. We don't really know what's going on. They want to be able to track all carbon and tax it with a AI surveillance grid with a social credit score over it.
Yeah.
And they admit all of that. That's Joe. They tell us what they're going to do.
I understand that, but do you understand that the environmentalists who are concerned are not there's a giant amount of them that are legitimately concerned that we're ruining the earth.
Yes, I understand the greenhouse effect.
Fossil fuels.
I understand the greenhouse effect.
But these people, the reason why they're acting, the reason why they're trying to get people on electric cars and trying to get people off of fossil fuels, hold it, please. They're legitimately concerned. Like, I don't believe that these actual environmentalists.
Sure, I agree with you, but I mean, here's the deal: the new Hummer looks badass. Here's the deal. But I'm not getting one because I don't want to contribute to global warming.
You don't want to contribute to global warming?
Listen, be serious. Did you know that on average more carbon is spent for electricity into a car than 93 octane gasoline?
Well, I would believe that because I would think it takes a lot to make a fucking electric car. But once the car's made...
No. Transmission lines. You lose up to half of transmission, and most of it's coal-powered, brother.
So most of the electricity...
Per megawatt, it's more.
So when I'm plugging my Tesla in, and I think, because that's how I like to think, I'm a good guy. I'm plugging my Tesla in. I'm helping save the world. I'm not, because I'm contributing to power.
No, you're contributing to putting carbon dioxide back in and oxygen and re-terraforming the planet. You're doing a badass job. The biggest energy guzzlers, electric cars, are badass. They are putting out more carbon than anybody. Yeah! They don't come out the tailpipe. They come out the power plant top. Woo!
Okay, but what about...
I love electric cars. Carbon!
Listen.
Yeah! Team Carbon!